Hey everybody, welcome back to Gaming Around. Hang on, we're gonna do something different this time. Let me find the right button. There we go. Beep, 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 beep. Boop. Hey, welcome back to the review section of FTL. We're gonna be doing this for all the games that we beat, even though I didn't beat FTL, but
Kind of beat him actually.
yeah. Um, Beating FTL is really, really difficult. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of really great FTL players. I still have a lot to learn about the game, but even with the little knowledge that I have, I still manage to enjoy the game very much.
Hey, I mean, that's honestly part of the whole game and just the system it is. You kind of learn as you go, and that experience that you get along that way is exactly what makes it an entertaining thing in general.
And then all that experience and knowledge you gain rolling down the levels ultimately culminates into a final battle, which tests your mettle. And then you realize I have a lot more to learn, which
Either
brings
that or
in
you need to pray to RNGs is a little better.
yeah, and it brings in the replay value because it's like you want to do all these strategies and find all these events that help your ship to ultimately help you against the final boss. And even if it's like a very heavy RNG, like most roguelikes,
Yeah, that's
there's
the
always
genre.
a consistent strategy where you can count on certain things happening. You could count on stores being there. You could count on some events being there. Like you can count on a lot of different things to for sure happen that are guaranteed to get put into your build, your current build for your ship.
It's actually kind of entertaining. I just had a thought about the whole situation where roguelikes in general, and especially FTL, kind of put an emphasis on how the next day in your life, for example, you don't know what's going to bring. Like, even though you know tomorrow is going to be like, I don't know,
Definitely, it's
Saturday,
guaranteed. Yeah.
Sunday, whatever day of the week you were watching this, we got you. Point is, life is uncertain, so is roguelikes. And you just taking that experience, you got to know how to just move on. Mention this,
Yeah.
but you grow, and we all level up, right?
Yeah, that's definitely true. So FTL definitely brings you the feeling of in uh satisfaction when you finally get that good upgrade, like that moment where we got the weapon pre-igniters, or not even when we got the
You get that
halberd
that that
beam.
that, that luck that just finally comes your way. You're just like, yes, I've
Oh
been working
yeah,
for it.
when we had like legit 2 hull points and freaking we were looking for a store and the very next jump was a fucking store. Those moments are really satisfying, and it's very easy to like put yourself in the game. And games like that have that feeling of you can put yourself in the game and kind of like role play what's going on and put yourself in the captain's chair essentially and make good decisions for your ship. It helps with the experience. It adds to it, and it makes you like
Every story is your own.
definitely the RNG that makes it your own story.
Hey, I mean, I did compare it to life in that sense. Every story is your own. Every life is yours to live. And this, in,
You
in
only
these
get one to
cases, you
live
get.
though.
In this one, you get to still live it from beginning to end, in a sense. Just
Yeah.
because you do it in a span of less than a lifetime doesn't make it any less valuable.
And we were able to put ourselves in the game, and we even had a continuity going where the first ship that I captained got destroyed, but Savannah managed to survive in the weapons bay because the O2 tank was still attached to the weapons bay.
Hey, there you go. There's just
Yeah.
that's our story.
Yeah, you can always FTL is story fuel. Like I've been on the FTL Reddit and I've seen FTL artwork, and there's always like a big huge story being told in every like work of art or every like captain's log. I've seen people release captain's log. I've actually written my own captain's log playing
Really?
FTL when I first started playing this game. Yeah. It's really easy to put yourself in, like I've been explaining, and that's one of the beauties of roguelikes, I guess. I don't know if
That's
other
you've
roguelikes do
sung so
this.
many praises, man. I mean, it's a wonderful game.
Yeah,
It
it
has its
definitely is.
it definitely has its golden, but it also
Simple
has a couple.
too.
Hey, that's when you know you got you got something timeless. If you have something that's too complicated, it it it's gonna get shut itself out real quick. As soon as you're taking away from a community, it's not gonna be its own.
Yeah, and then on top of that base replay value we talked about, like all that's replay value in and of itself. You get ships, get events. You can look for events that unlock side quests that help you unlock other ships, and you get to experience the game in another ship. And it's a whole new learning experience because you have to learn how to vent in space to that ship to take out fires, and where all the what you call it, where all the equipment goes.
Like you're going off about like everything that goes around the game. I mean, they were able to see through the series what is it that could be done, and that's only like one aspect of it. Throughout the run we were mentioning, oh, there's this kind of strat that you can run, this kind of strat. It really all comes down to RNG, really, but there you can go in with this, a goal in mind and try to reach it as best as you can.
Yeah, and you can also theory craft strats. Like you noticed in our playthrough, we ran into a lot of mantis, and mantis do a lot of physical damage, so they would teleport themselves onto their ship. So there's a strategy where we can possibly get a mantis ship and get teleporters as soon as possible, and then there's augmentations, like teleporter augmentations that heal your characters as you teleport them to and from ships. So you can get that kind of augmentation, and on top of that, you can add to that strat. There's a bio beam.
It goes on forever.
Yeah,
dude.
there's
like,
a bio beam.
You cannot go through all of them.
No, well, I'm talking about the same strat. Now you would think this beam would have nothing to do with the strat, but that beam doesn't do damage to ships. It only does damage to people aboard the ship.
Does it go through shields?
No, it's a beam. It's like a halberd beam. But instead of damaging the ship,
if you actually go, it'd probably be wise to teleport them into the shield room.
Uh-huh.
And hey, I get it.
Yeah, and then you kill off all the workers on the ship. And the beauty about that strategy is you get maximum returns on it. So you would get as most scraps as you can get, the missiles, everything. Like if they bribed you, but you did it for free. Like instead of destroying the ship, you killed everyone on board, and that's another win condition. The game provides you a second win condition. There's 3. You can flee, which isn't really a win condition. You can kill everybody on board, or you can just destroy the ship entirely. Or there's decisions you can make story-wise that allow you to either avoid the fight or continue on.
Kind of like that. Let's go through a route. First of all, you've already sung its praises. What kind of aftertaste does the game leave?
It's definitely a really chillax game. You can chill, play it, make your own decisions, and have your own theory craft in your head, and it's like a sit back, relax, and not very tension heavy game.
So it's a game that you could take at your own pace, and
yeah,
not having the pressures of right now this second is something that you appreciate.
Yeah, and there's the pause feature, which allows you to pause to make your own decisions and
you
do what you want.
You don't get penalized for that, do you?
Huh?
You don't get penalized for that, do you?
No, you don't at all. It's just it just helps you look at the whole picture and make sure your O2 is on.
That could always be a problem.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, so that's the kind of aftertaste, at least. Another good question, like, if there was anything you would change, I mean, would you, or would you think about there being a part 2? What would you add? Like,
well, I would like to add more of maybe a decision-making dynamic, kind of like a tall tale type of storytelling where the crew is affected by your decisions, and there's a whole tug of war of power of like, does the crew actually want to keep listening to this captain, or are you making them comfortable, or is there a comfortable ride happening? Are you being a sufficient captain? And like crew would be able to walk out on you, or help make decisions better. So like there's some cases in this game where having certain races help decisions, like if a planet's on fire or something and you have a rock guy, the rock guy can help the planet burn out the fire. More of that. If they can introduce more of that, um, it'll definitely help with the randomness of the game and being able to tell your own stories.
Mm-hmm.
Because you would have this rock guy like, oh, he did this and this and that in my campaign, and that may not have happened to you because you never had a rock guy on your ship, you know. And that's kind of like what the game offers already. But if they can like enhance that and make
But
it
wouldn't
better,
that take it away from being a roguelike and more at that point?
well, it'll still be a roguelike because you still have the fleet chasing you. Now, what I'd love to see in this game is more of a unit management, where you know how you can manage the units to go from room to room and operate machinery in room to room.
So a good comparison, kind of like Mass Effect.
Yeah, Mass
your
Effect
units.
is definitely like a top-down Mass Effect or something, but have its own FTL flavor. And you know how you can control each unit, move them to room, kind of like StarCrafty. You can make a box and highlight multiple units, right-click to move and all that. I would like to have more
Maybe like a
exploration.
happiness bar or something.
A
Unit
more
happiness.
more exploration where you can send your crew down to planets. Like you can send your crew down to planets in FTL, but it's more of like a text box. You don't really get to interact with that.
Mm-hmm.
So I would like to see maps. Like other than ship layouts, you get to see maps, like areas that your characters can explore, and and you can in shops you can have weapons for each crew member so that they can handle different situations differently when they're off the ship. So I would like introduce more mechanics where you're docked with another ship and your ship is locked in docking, and like the docking bay is its own little map, and you have to micro your units through the map to like unlock the docking bay and then get your units back onto your ship to separate your ship from the dock.
Hold on, if at that point is it FTL or
Well,
or like every Star series put together?
it's not every Star series put together because it's still top down. You're still microing your units. It's just more dynamic because you have more maps to interact with instead of just your normal ship layout. So if you get used to microing your units and you have more personality for them, personality meaning like more equipment, like maybe like 2 slots of equipment or 1 slot where they can have a weapon or a piece of armor or something, and make it deeper in that aspect, like just to have another underlying gameplay, which it would, having it explorative would take away from the roguelike aspect of the fleet chasing you, but there's also ways to slow down the fleet. So if you were to add an exploratory mechanic, you could also add more ways to slow down the rebel fleet. So like if you're down on a planet, you can befriend the inhabitants of the planet and they can in turn help you delay the fleet.
You know, like similar to the note that you just went on, I feel like if I had to kind of give a suggestion and what direction to take, it's like, you know how at the beginning when you're choosing your crew, well, more like their names really, but you choosing your ship type, all that other stuff.
Yeah.
I feel like what would be an appropriate thing to kind of just expand on the world is have a route option. Like, how do you want to tackle this issue? Where you would have, from that point, you would have like a roguelike network. Where let's say you want to take a diplomatic route, you automatically start with better engines and weaker weapons, and your route is more has more diplomatic options instead of do I fight this not.
Yeah.
Or if you want to do a more aggressive push or make it seem like you're taking sides, or maybe, who knows, maybe you have an option where you have to you could join the rebel fleet, and it's not that they're pushing back, but you have to find out how to appropriately push forward and actually oppose the Federation.
That'd be really cool to take sides. Like FTL could go a lot of different ways, and that's the fun aspect about it. Thinking about mechanics for FTL is all fine and dandy, and I'm pretty sure there's mods for this kind of thing, but I would like to see the company revisit FTL and make a sequel and see what they would like to do. Because at the end of the day, we could pitch all these ideas that they may not be able to use, but they could make it into a completely new game or have something else within the FTL series, like continue the continuity. Right now, the story is just from beginning to end is your ship flying away from the rebel fleet because they have intel about the rebels that help the Federations. Federation, and it ultimately ends in this war where it's you versus that Federation's mothership.
Simple. I mean, isn't that what a rogue?
Yeah, roguelikes are supposed to be simple, but FTL can take it a step further. They could change the genre. I would love an explorative FTL type thing.
Take it up a notch and it'd still be awesome. Like, there's so many directions, but hey, that's just imagination versus what we can do and what we have in front.
They could reintroduce the star map and have it so that you can explore planets and see planets on the star
even
map.
with that, let's start trying to close this out. All right, ready? All right, so if you had to kind of give it like sort of rating, right? Like out of 10, where 1 would be the lowest number and would represent like, I don't know why we even approached this game in the first place. How the hell did this happen? And 10 being, I would recommend it. I would play it again. I would put it on my wall and plaster
I would give it a 9.
Why?
I wouldn't. I would say it's a really great game, but like playing it a lot, you learn a bunch of different things, but it kind of like feels like the same thing over and over. You'd have to like really be the type of person where you could put yourself in the shoes of the captain and actually like enjoy that kind of. It's very what you call it. It's an acquired taste, and if you can't acquire that taste, the game's not for you. So it's a solid 9 because if it is your taste, bam, that game is yours. But if it's not your taste, you can at least enjoy it for a couple of runs, and it's still like a 9 out of 10 type fun game. And that 1 point missing is just like, I kind of want to see this company do this game again, do like an FTL 2 or something, you know. But yeah, 9 out of 10, I definitely do recommend the game. This is one of those really good small games that's a worthwhile experience.
All right, me on the other hand, wow, you're generous with yours. I'm a little like on the border here. I'm not gonna like I don't remember what the name of that British guy on America's Got Talent is called. Whatever that guy's name is, I'm gonna make it a verb right now. I'm not gonna do a him and give it like a 2 and just be like, it's because it's fucking shit was raw. I don't know, whatever. Yeah. I know I'm mixing all kinds of people right now, but the point I'm trying to make is I'd probably give it more along the lines of like a 7.
Yeah.
And that revolves around the fact that and of course let's not take these ratings too seriously. It's kind of like a personal thing. There's only so many ways to actually tackle this. Like even on first sight, games like these kind of turn off and turn on people. Of course, you did mention it's an acquired taste, but
yeah,
it's a gameplay extremely solid. You know, like to die for. Story wise, it's harder to follow and it's kind of non-existent, and each is its own little thing, and it's not a linear way in any way.
There was a lot of text boxes that we did, like the first text box.
Even with that, the thing is, it's like the text boxes were more situational than it was like a whole universe that you were experiencing.
There's scripted text boxes, like the very first one that tells you your mission.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, and then the ones at the end.
Yeah, I remember that too. Yeah. But other than that, it's for a while it felt like head running without, you know, without its head running without its chicken. Chicken running without its head, or its head cut off. You heard it here,
folks. A head running without its chicken. Silo 2016.
Thanks. And it's just that little bit. Other than that, it's I've already covered gameplay, solid. Freaking story, shaky. And what would be another category?
Soundtrack. I think that thing was wonderful.
Soundtrack. I mean, I probably should put it's great.
Yeah.
It's nice. It's simple. It's like on the 8 bits. It's not even 8-bit. I don't even know what the bit rate would be on that, but it fits its own theme, and that is not something people tend to do very well nowadays, actually. So yeah, but still, like 7 out of 10. We have to give 3 categories that heavily influenced it. story being shaky is what would take away from it.
Yeah, I would
Hey,
say
it doesn't mean I won't play the fuck out of a 7.
yeah, that's true, and that's I would say like it's an acquired taste. It's probably a taste that you haven't acquired. So you got kind of like two opinions on it. One that me, I love the game. It's a taste that I love, and for Silo, it's a taste that he may not like. I don't even think he likes space and stuff. Do you?
No.
Yeah, space isn't his cup of tea. But for someone who doesn't have the acquired taste for it, still gave it a 7. So it's a highly recommended game. I'd play it.
It's really all up to you guys.
Yeah.
We're here giving our opinion on it, but at the end of the day, it's really your decision to make. And you saw us go through it, and you can always go through it. It's not that expensive of a buy. Well, it depends on what you call expensive. Anything could be expensive if you really want to get in your 2 cents into it.
I'd definitely like to see more people rate more stories within the FTL universe. I love reading captain's logs.
Hey, if
for
you want to
FTL.
share any, always comments and stuff down below. Even if you're on like mobile, it's all there, down there.
Yeah. Well, hopefully we spark a discussion down there. That's the point of this video.
Hell yeah. And until then, and we'll see you in the comments, right?
Yeah.
Peace
Have a
out.
good one.
Thanks for this time sitting down and listening around.
Yeah. We'll be gaming around next time. See you then.
Peace.